The great conjunction of modern times falls within the close proximity to the star Altair, the brightest star in the constellation of Aquila, the Eagle. Altair is found at 1° 47 Aquarius. Ptolemy assigned the nature of the star to Mars and Jupiter. It confers a bold, confident, valiant, unyielding, ambitious, and liberal wealth. A position of command makes its native guilty of bloodshed and gives danger from reptiles. I have not managed to find a time in history where Jupiter and Saturn conjunct Altair so perfectly as they are now today in the sky. Great conjunctions are times when the big world players make their moves and we see empires and big businesses flex and restructure. The conjunction is always the starting point to any planetary transit cycle and a new phase to an ongoing evolutionary process. Altair was known by that name since Sumerian times. Hittites used the symbol of the double-headed eagle. The Assyrians also used the sign of the high-flying bird. So did the Egyptians. The all-seeing eye and the position above all is authoritative. Set being used in heraldry since ancient times. The eagle was used by Cyrus the Great, the Roman Empire, and the Holy Roman Empire, and is still on the German coat of arms. It is also on the Great Seal of the United States. The connection here is the ancestry. The United States is dominantly German. The second is British. The Great Seal was created in Georgian times. The German-Georgian dynasty did much for Freemasonry, which founded American independence and created the Constitution. The politics of the United States today is Trump is fighting for his presidency by questioning the democratic process. The name Trump originates from the electoral palatinate of the Holy Roman Empire, today modern-day Germany, more specifically Swabia. Another American, German, British world leader also has started great changes on the other side of the Atlantic. Boris Johnson, Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. The de Pfeffel originates from the electoral palatine with Swabian pedigrees. There were many famous Swabians, such as Karl Marx, Albert Einstein, Klaus Schwab, Charles Pfizer, the founder of the Pfizer Pharmaceutical Company, based in Palatine, Illinois, USA. The mystery of the Swabs starts with Trier, the most ancient city of Germany, with a legendary story of its founding by an Assyrian prince, Trebeta, a son of King Ninus. If there is truth in the story, then Trier would be older than Rome, older than Palatine Hill, where the old Philistine system of pagan Dagon worship still in power as Babylon the Great. Altair was in Capricorn for the past 2,500 years. It only recently went into Aquarius, over 100 years ago now. On the 4th of July 1776, Pluto conjuncted Altair. In the next 3 years, America will have its Pluto return, which is influenced by the Eagle star greatly. We are witnessing the deep transformation of the United States, and Trump holding office is part of the process, and so is Brexit. They are associated by Altair strongly. I expect the next 3 years to be a time of US and UK ties to aid our failing economies and build the Commonwealth into some sort of Oceania, where the Brexit situation is similar for the European Union, as they will grow more ties to Russia for resources and economic stability in the Eurasia Pact. It's all the Western nations can do to compete with the waking giant China. This looks very much like Orwell's 1984 vision of the future. In other news, the past few weeks we have super soldiers. Altair has not been in Aquarius long. The sign Aquarius is the perfected man, being the last air sign. The militant star combined with a Aquarian Jupiter-Saturn conjunction will give advancements to the world's armies. The square to Uranus and Taurus also manifests the focus on the body with new experimental technology. This was reflected in the Queen's speech, where rumour had it was a hologram. Her body was in focus for many. So was the connection of photos on her desk. There was nobody from the royal family there except Philip. There is a Uranian stress within the royal household. Looking to the future of the royal family, we see Prince Harry controversially break traditions to make his new empire in the United States with his Hollywood star wife. Comparing with days gone by to another similar planetary alignment of the close Great Conjunction in 1226, it was the last time the two were conjunct in early degrees of Aquarius. On the 8th of November of that year, King Louis VIII dies of dysentery whilst campaigning against the Cathars. His 12-year-old son, Louis IX, becomes King of France, and this starts what is remembered as a golden age for that kingdom. Its economic strength and political position was at its peak. Louis IX is the only canonized king who ever lived. Another example, in 1623, Jupiter and Saturn in very close conjunction in early Leo. During the 30 Years' War, Maximilian I breaks tradition by replacing Frederick V of his birthright and becomes an Elector Palatine of the Holy Roman Empire. The significance of today's conjunction will be seen in time. What Drumpf and de Pfeffel have done politically as of late will have major ripple effects across the world and will progress within the Jupiter-Saturn transits through its own evolutionary process.